Hello everyone and welcome to Ash's Whiskey Wars. For today's video I'm sharing with you guys not only my Speyside whiskey of 2024 but also my blended whiskey of 2024. So there's two whiskies to share with you in today's video. Now why have I done two different whiskies? Well, truthfully it's because I've only bought 3 blended whiskies this year and shockingly 2 Speyside whiskies this year. So there's 5 whiskies to choose from. That's why I've blended them together instead of doing 2 different videos for you guys. So let's kick things off with the blended choice of 2024. So the whiskies that I've reviewed this year have been the Smoky Monkey, bottled at 40%, the peated version of the Monkey Shoulder, beautiful bottle, the Isle of Skye 8-year-old, which is a fantastic, cheap blended Scotch whiskey that's also 8 years of age and I think is an incredible whiskey for the money. That whiskey I've picked up for £17 in the UK on offer. Normally it's about 22, 23, but if you can find it on offer, it's well worth £17. It's a steal for that money. Really good. Not as smoky as you think. Isle of Skye, you think maybe Talisker, since Talisker's also on the Isle of Skye. I'm pretty sure it includes actually some Talisker in its profile, but once you taste that whiskey you realise it's very different to that. It seems to me like it has a lot more Highland whiskies inside its blend. It comes across very balanced and a lot more suited to the mainstream market, let's say, than a Talisker would be. But I think very balanced for a cheap Scotch whiskey. It's one of the best. And then a recent purchase, I actually picked up the Johnnie Walker Green Label. And so which of the 3 did I prefer this year? If I'm being totally honest with you guys, the Smoky Monkey is out of the running. It's not bad. In fact, I think that whiskey was more peated and smoky than what I was expecting, if I'm being honest. I thought the Isle of Skye would be smokier and more peated, but it's not the case. The Smoky Monkey really is smoky. And I like it for that, but it's not as good as the Isle of Skye. And therefore, if it's priced at £30 in the UK, £35, it can't compete with something that's half that price. And also, if they were the same price, the Isle of Skye takes the cake there. So it's between the Isle of Skye and the Johnnie Walker. And that's credit to the Isle of Skye, by the way. 8 years of age against a 15-year-old whiskey. But I have to be honest, price to performance ratio, I picked the Johnnie Walker up for £35, although it's £45 RRP in the UK. So it's a tough one. It's not easy. This was not an easy choice, but I have gone for the Johnnie Walker for my blended whiskey of 2024. Why did I go for the Johnnie Walker? Honestly, I was really surprised with... So I recognised going into this whiskey, I'm probably going to get something honeyed, sweet and malty. Maybe a little bit citrusy, and that's exactly what I get on the Johnnie Walker Green Label. But quite excitingly, I also get ground coffee beans and ginger. It has a spice to it, but it also warms the throat. And it actually, at this time of the year, it really suited me. I really like it. So the Johnnie Walker Green Label is 15-year-old whiskey, minimum 15 years I should say, bottled at 43% ABV. And it's a purely Scotch malt blend. The whiskies that they mention that's in there is Kalila, Talisker, which is also Isle of Skye, as the Isle of Skye 8-year-old, and Cragganmore, which I've never had, and Linkmore, Linkwood I should say, which I've never had. But it also mentions Lowland in there, so you'd imagine that's Glenkinchie. A little bit grassy, citrusy, but also sweet and malty, lots of honey in there, with the bitter elements of the coffee and the warmth of the ginger spice. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this whiskey. I know it's twice the price on sale as what I can get the Isle of Skye 8-year-old for. I almost went for that whiskey, guys. But I have to be honest, I was impressed with this one, so I've gone for this as my blended choice of 2024. Now, for my Speyside choice of 2024, to be honest, I've only bought 2 Speysides this year, which shocked me. I've bought quite a few Highland whiskies, and they do sort of touch on elements you would get from Speyside whiskies at times. But I've only bought 2 pure Speysides, and they were the Craigellachie 13, which is a fantastic whiskey, bottled at 46% ABV, and the Benrome at 10. Now, the Craigellachie, very different to a traditional Speyside, I would say. It gives you a very waxy walnut, so waxy nuts, but also a real thick and dense oiliness characteristic to the whiskey. And that really did take me by surprise. Now, it does hold true to Speyside house style, let's say, or its true DNA, in terms of I get a lot of orchard fruits on the whiskey, almost toffee apple style, and it does come across a little bit of wood spice, a little bit of baking spices as well. But honestly, that waxy walnut and the dirty oiliness of the whiskey really does confuse you. It's a blend between a Campbelltown and a Speyside, and I do love that whiskey, but it's not my Speyside pick of 2024. That actually belongs to the Benrome 10-year-old, which I have here right now. 3% less in ABV, also, I'm sure, not natural colour or chill filter or non-chill filtered, which the Craigellachie 13 is natural colour. So it was a close call, but I've gone for the Benrome this year. And I think part of this was also my excitement about trying the rest of their range. And it's also a little bit cheaper than the Craigellachie. In fact, quite a bit cheaper. So the Benrome retails for around £40 in the UK. You can pick this up for £35 quite often in the UK. And actually, as of recently, it was £30 in the UK. So do try and pick it up for those low 30s. It is a steal for that price point, by the way, guys. The Craigellachie, on the other hand, is £55 in the UK. So you're talking a good £15 to £20 more expensive for that whiskey. It is 3 years older, it is 3% higher in ABV, and it is natural colour and non-chill filtered, so you would expect to pay a bit more for that whiskey. Although I do think in the UK market they should drop the price a little bit. Retail that whiskey for £45, £47 and it would be incredible. In Germany, where I picked it up, by the way, I got it for about £30 in the UK. Like equivalent, it was €35, so an absolute steal for that money. But I'm basing this on UK prices. The Benrome takes it today. A little bit smoky, full of red fruits. I actually purchased this in the summer and it didn't quite work in the high heat for me. This is a cooler weather Speyside whiskey. You get all the red fruits that you want, but it also adds in a little bit of herbs and a little bit of a grassy element with that smoke. And also that oiliness. This is also another oily Speyside whiskey. And that really did blow me away, guys. I've got to be honest. It's almost a Campbelltown Speyside blend, but it's not. And it's truly special. I'm really excited to dig into other Benrome in 2025. I know the organic is highly rated. The cask strength is another one, and so is the 15-year that I have on my mind for next year. So I will be looking at those whiskies. But for this year, these two were my favourite whiskies. This is my blended choice, the Johnny Walker Green Label, and my Speyside pick, the Benrome 10. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on the video. Don't forget to share the video and click that subscribe button down below. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with these picks, What is your blended pick of 2024, or what is your Speyside pick of 2024? I'm always interested in finding out what you guys like. If you would like to donate to the channel, I do have a Patreon account, but also a PayPal account linked down below, where all proceeds go directly to the channel into Whisky to film more reviews for you guys. I hope you're all having a Merry Christmas so far and the festivities are going well. I hope you're all happy and healthy and spending it with people that you truly care about. Thank you so much for watching this Whisky War, and I hope to see you all for the next Whisky War.